Giving it just a moment for people to possibly come in. As always, I will take any question from the chat, do my best to answer it in its entirety, and with the best of my knowledge and to the best of my ability. As I give some people a chance to filter in here, hopefully get a few eyes on the channel and on the show, I just want to take a moment and thank everybody for the kind words that I've actually been getting a lot of, kind remarks, kind thoughts from people around the Gears community, accepting me with open arms and really feeling like I belong here. It's no longer just a dream. It's something I want to work toward more and more every day. So I hope to make this show better and better each week. Big shout out to everybody that's helped me out for the past few weeks. Blaze gave me some great ideas. Veli gave me some great ideas. I've been doing a lot of VOD watching on my own, watching streams left and right on Sundays, all throughout the weekend, throughout the weekdays, trying to get as much information as I can to break down, analyze, and give you all the information necessary to figure out why these top teams are either struggling or progressing. And also a big shout out to Deluxe. For the past few days, he and I have really been doing a lot of talking, and he's really been helping me out, allowing me to do some of the games for his Gears Community Series, and also giving me the information necessary during my recap of the games that have already happened, plus the games going forward. I look forward to doing that as the closeout section of my show, because that's going to be a weekly series, the Champions League. It's all the action you could ever want in one simple place. Big shout out to Deluxe for putting that on. Big shout out to Annex, the sponsor of that series. Love all of them. So in just about a minute and a half, I'm going to go ahead and start doing my recap for IGL over the weekend. I see, as a matter of fact, Deluxe is in the chat room. Deluxe, how you doing tonight, sir? I actually have about 4 pages worth of notes that I have to consolidate down into what I would like to call concise thoughts. For a lot of the times, though, a lot of my thoughts end up being tangents because I want to talk about so much in such a short period of time. So I am going to go ahead, start off with the IGL series from this past weekend. The European Open that happened over in Liverpool in the United Kingdom. The casters for that tournament were Fallout, Toby Campbell, Alex, and Elliot, a.k.a. Darko. Thank you so much, all 4 of you, for putting on an amazing talent roster, really commentating your hearts out, putting the heart and soul in Gears of War as we all try to do. I really appreciate you guys doing such a beautiful job all weekend long. That's what I want to do first and foremost. Thank you guys. Thank IGL for putting it on. But let's get right down to it. We saw a lot of big names come out and participate in this weekend's tournaments, mainly the 3 top teams from the European region. We had, of course, Space Station Gaming, who ended up being the eventual champions. We had Lucent Esports, which is what I would like to call the Revenge Squad, headed up by Jack Reaction. They were Team 4 a few weeks ago on Fight Night, if you so remember. Regal Reserve, the all-Spanish team that played in it, also showed out. They gave Space Station Gaming a run for their money in the pool area. Lucent actually getting demolished in their first go-around, but doing a lot better job in the second half there. Also, we had Fox Gaming coming out, not Echo Fox, just straight-up Fox Gaming. They did very well for themselves, helped out make a great name for themselves. They had 2 big pools that were then split up into seedings, one all the way down to the bottom team, one giant bracket, double elimination style. And let's just go through what ended up happening by a certain couple of teams here. You had Regal going against Aerox. Aerox is a team that was made up of some former players from what was Season 1's Epsilon, who is now Season 2's Space Station Gaming. A player like Ash was on that team. And everybody thought Aerox would have a great chance to come out, really show that all that experience from Season 1 would help carry them through some of these games. But Regal Reserve was not playing any games. They went out, it went all 3 maps, but Regal Reserve won every initial across the 21 rounds that they had to win, won every initial but 2 of them. On only 2 rounds did they fail to take initial map control and push Aerox onto their heels early and often, making it harder and harder. As I continued to watch Aerox throughout the weekend, it looked as though their biggest problem was they chased a lot of fights. They wouldn't allow things to develop around them, possibly make something happen as the fight developed and they had a big team fight. They'd go off and chase 1v1s. They'd go off and chase possible number disadvantages, and it ended up losing them a lot of their rounds because they were separated from their possible teammates and never had any real good cross coming in. They did a good cross early on in the initials, but Regal Reserve just too strong, taking them out in the initials. But from that point forward, they never quite climbed back onto their feet. They stayed down and ended up either getting triple capped or they only had 4 rounds that went to 210. Let's take a look now at Lucent versus Space Station Gaming in the first original series that they played in the championship semifinals before the championship finals. They only went 2 maps. Space Station Gaming, 2-0s, both maps. They end up beating them on Dam pretty senselessly. You look at it, Space Station Gaming wins every one but 3 initials. They end up triple capping 5 of their 7 rounds, really took control of Dam early, often, and every single time they went to a platform fight. It seemed like Space Station Gaming just had an answer for whatever they did. Big shout out to that new pickup, filling in the spot for Marsh. He did absolutely amazing all weekend long. His name is Jack. A lot of the people in the Gears community know him as Godfex. Godfex playing under a different moniker during the tournament, but we all know him as Godfex here in the community. He played out of his mind all weekend long, really filled in a position that was much needed. Marsh always in your face, always aggressive. And Godfex came out and he played more intelligently. He played more into the hearts and minds of the rest of his teammates and laid a lot of traps. He would initiate a fight, back up, get a little bit of help, minuscule at most, and a lot of times embarrass people, make them look like fools for possibly chasing after him. Next, you went in. They went over to Harbor after that. And they went over to Forge Blitz after that. 7-5 on Forge Blitz. You saw Lucent do a good job coming out. They didn't just go down without a fight. They only ended up winning 3 rounds on Dam. They end up winning 5 rounds on Forge Blitz. It's a much smaller map, much more concise map. It takes a lot of good rotations, takes a lot of good call-outs, and it takes a definite good initial fight in that control tower to take control of that map and be able to progress the way that you'd like to, be able to filter people in and out of those different hallways and those different areas for you. They did a good job of that in the rounds that they won, but outside of that, it looked like they would get embarrassed in Control Tower, and then you just saw Space Station Gaming use the talent level that they had, all the experience that they have, to just put a stranglehold on the rest of the rounds, rest of the map. Let's go over to the Grand Finals now, because you had the same old story, same old song and dance throughout the losers bracket. Regal Reserve put themselves head and shoulders above everybody else, including Aerox, and would go on to face a very upset Lucent Esports team in the losers finals. Regal Reserve and Lucent Esports was a match that was the bread and butter of Gears of War. A lot of passion, a lot of pride, and a lot of yelling, trash talking, and some serious Nasher fights all throughout that entire losers finals. But Lucent Esports ends up taking it to go back, trying to get their revenge on Space Station Gaming, who were bar none the best team all weekend long. It looked like they fell short a few times in some rounds. They weren't really who they were supposed to be, but they never ever failed at showing exactly who they are and exactly who they plan to be going forward, especially into San Diego, which is a team to be reckoned with. They went back to the Grand Finals. They played 3 maps. Dam, Reclaimed, followed by Lift would be their 3rd map. On Dam, Lucent Esports flipped the script. In the original map, they only won 3 rounds. On the secondary try of it, though, 7-6 Lucent Esports. They got up, they got hype, they got into the faces, literally and metaphorically, of Space Station Gaming all map long and gave them a real possible chance to go 2-0 and try their best to take away the crown of Space Station Gaming from Europe's greatest team. We move over now to Reclaimed. Space Station Gaming, we all remember it. New Orleans, embarrassed by Optic Gaming on Reclaimed. They went in, it looks like they've really been practicing that map because, my goodness gracious, they did not take any prisoners on Lucent in that second map on Reclaimed. They made sure they got control of the bowl, and they made sure they got control of the alleyways and the hallways, and they made sure that there would never be a chance for Lucent to breathe. We go to the final map, though. Lift. On Lift, Lucent Esports goes up 4-1 on Space Station Gaming on a map that we normally would believe Space Station Gaming would love based on how they like to play their angles, play their Lancer Fire, and play a lot of their team fights. It's the map where the dreaded fall apart happened with Marsh in that situation, but it looks like from that moment forward, they have done nothing but practice it, get it under control, and then all of a sudden, Lucent Esports comes out and puts them on their back, makes them reel a little bit, tries to figure out, hey, who are we again? Down 4-1, Space Station Gaming roars back 7-5. Space Station Gaming winning the championship over there, solidifying their top spot yet again in the European region, and it spells nothing but good things for them going forward after winning another LAN tournament on 2.8. Great experience that everybody should envy, where they got to play 2.8 this past update that came out after New Orleans, got some great experience on it, so they're going to be feeling themselves a little bit, and I think that's really going to give them a little bit of moxie going into San Diego, a little bit of that humph where they feel way more confident in everything that they could want. So thank you to the casters, thank you to the organizations, thank you to everybody that went out, showed Gears love that weekend, this past weekend, but thank you most of all to those 3 amazing teams, 4 amazing teams really if you put Aerox in the same breath as the other 3, but Regal, Lucent, Space Station Gaming showing out, showing the best of Gears EU, and I cannot wait to see them come out to San Diego. I hope I see all 3 of those teams make some kind of noise out in San Diego, but we all know Space Station Gaming they will of course have their pool play. I hope the other 2 maybe possibly making a great run through the open bracket, coming into pools, and then showing people what Gears EU is all about. Let's move forward though, over to this week's 2K. First things first, it is what we all expect week in and week out going into San Diego. I'm pretty sure at this point it's the same old song and dance for everybody. It's like you put another quarter into the jukebox listening to the same thing over and over again. Optic Gaming, Echo Fox, finals in the fight night this Wednesday, August 22nd. That's going to be another slobber knocker, another barn burner, because these 2 teams love to fight each other. They love slugging it out. They love burning it down. They love to show each other just who can be dominant whenever the switch is flicked. But let's just back it up a little bit. We're going to go from the finals to top 4 to top 8, talk about some of these teams, and we even have one team that we want to talk about in top 16 because I need to point something out about them that I really hope isn't eternally true. I hope it is just a passing fancy. So let's go to top 4 real quick. You had Rise Esports making it to top 4 again against Optic Gaming. They have beaten E-United 2 weeks in a row in 2Ks. That detox pickup is looking like the smartest idea anybody has ever had. They have shown out since then. It doesn't look like they're sweating against some of these other teams besides Optic Gaming when they have to run into them in the bracket. Big shout out to Rise. Big shout out to guys like Drix for sticking it out, making the team changes necessary, not unnecessary team changes, ones that would wholly improve the chemistry, the rotation, and the ability of that team. Jerpy as well on that team. Amazing, amazing roster playing to the level that we all expect. On the other side of the bracket, though, Echo Fox playing against Simplicity plus Demo. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Demo Bounce, the man who retired last year, playing with Simplicity, a team that looks like they went through a tumultuous change. Soto, Toy Soldier, they've got Clouts now over there. They look like they went from here to there to back up here, but with the help of Demo, they end up taking out a Ghost Gaming team, who, of course, had a couple of team things going on. Rushies is on vacation, so he's playing from a hotel room, and instead of sleepy time, they had the man, the myth, the legend back, Ribs himself. But Simplicity plus Demo, beats them to get to top 4. They run into Echo Fox. Echo Fox then proves themselves to be a little rusty. It looks like they took a few days off. They lost some rounds on some purely silly mistakes. But when it came time, push to shove, Echo Fox on Harbor was up massively. 5-1. They dropped 4 rounds on the second half. It ends up being a lot closer than it should have been. Don't let the final score, because there are no pictures on a scorecard, don't let that final score fool you. Echo Fox was never not in control of this series or these maps. They never once sweated. They just took a few days off. They had to oil up the gears. They had to get a little bit of that engine piston firing on all cylinders so they could just roll back into another 2K Finals against Optic Gaming. We're going to take another step back, though. Let's go to top 8. You had a team that I thought was really interesting. It has some names that we know, some newer players, but of course 2 names from that Elevate squad who broke my heart at the same time. Exclusive, Hezi, playing with Zovio, Strafey, Mortifies. The 5 of them go up against Optic Gaming, and all of a sudden, everybody sees Optic Gaming kind of lose and falter here. They're kind of shaky. Nobody was really sure. Oh my God, could Optic Gaming get knocked out long before this week's 2K Finals? You even heard Praise say it. Oh my goodness, is this a best of 1? They turn the switch on. Best team in the game, still the Kings of Gears of War. They end up defeating that team, kind of a Frankenstein team of a few names we know, a few younger guys, quite handedly. Rise defeating E United in top 8 to go to that top 4 situation. A 5 seed beating a 4 seed. It's a little bit of an upset, not really if you've been following it. They've beaten them 2 weeks in a row. Consistency is key. If Rise continues on this kind of march forward and they continue to beat E United, I think we've got a brand new top 4 that we got to talk about. I think we got a team that is scarier than ever going into San Diego, especially if they can shake off that moniker of the comeback kids. There's no longer a need to come back when you're just outright beating these teams higher seeded than you. Over on the opposite side of top 8, Simplicity plus Demo, as I spoke about it, defeated Ghost. Ghost had a few problems. They played well up into that point. Rushy's playing from a hotel room. I'm sure he's not used to it in a completely awkward environment. Ribs subbing in for Sleepy Time, so some of those rotations, some of those positions that Sleepy Time might be in, Ribs may not be used to, vice versa. It could have put some people in some really awkward situations. But I am happy to see Simplicity playing well. The more teams we have playing well, the better parity in these 2Ks, the better viewers we will have, the better viewership, the better numbers, the more passion that we bring to the scene, because people are going to be closing the gap continuously on these top teams. Over, though, with Echo Fox down at the bottom of the bracket, because they are the number 2 seed overall, so they're very bottom of the bracket down here. Optic Gaming is very up top. Crushmo, Domes, Firearm, Xenon, Heza. Another Frankenstein team. Another Frankenstein team being put together. They're playing Echo Fox. They go to Forge Blitz. Everybody has seen the clip by now. Domes on an amazing little flank. Gets a bunch of kills. It's really flashy. It looks really good, but it ends up not being enough. That team is very interesting to me. Crush and Domes, both well-known names, both playing very well when they need to be, both consistent, but they never really found a home. Firearm, Xenon, Heza, 3 names that played together in Season 1, now playing together again in Season 2. They know each other, the chemistry's there, they can build on that with the other 2 on that team. I kind of hope that team sticks together. I'd love to see them play the next couple of weeks together, maybe go to San Diego with that team. I think it's got a lot of potential if they continue to play together. Let's drop all the way back to top 16, though. Rise defeats Nimbus GG. Nimbus GG playing without Tidy, because Tidy announced, of course, on Twitter he was taking a step back from Gears of War, which leaves a spot open on that Nimbus team. The other 4 members picking up a guy named Handles, Handles. Handles playing instead for Nimbus GG, falling to Rise. I said it a few weeks ago, I'm not happy that Nimbus didn't play with their full roster the weeks coming out of New Orleans. I wasn't happy that they continued to play with different people here and there, trying to pick up rounds, pick up wins, not playing with your full squad. You cannot waste these full days of practice. You cannot waste this possibly perfect days of practice against these top teams, especially if you make deep runs into these 2Ks. I know it's online, but you can always, always, always learn from your mistakes and learn from losses. You can't learn from winning. So, Tidy, if you do decide to come back, I hope you come back soon, and I hope that team plays together going into San Diego, and I hope they grind their butts off. Tidy, if you're not coming back, I hope Nimbus finds somebody that they can play with on a consistent basis and make just as much noise going into San Diego and at San Diego, probably coming out of the open bracket, but I hope they do it because that organization and that team played too well, showed out too much, and I hope they do it again. Just a little repeat, hit the playback button. So, Nimbus GG, I hope you figure out what's going on with your team change. I hope you figure out what's going on with Tidy. Tidy, if you come back soon enough, I pray you continue to play with this team. They were really, really fun to watch, spectacular to watch. But that's all I got on the 2K. Don't forget to tune in this Wednesday, August 22nd, to Fight Night. We all know our two favorite human beings casting that, of course, Veli, Guy Blaze, being out there on Fight Night, doing everything they can to bring us the best action with the best possible pictures drawn. Optic Gaming, Echo Fox. I think Echo Fox is going to take this week. It's a back and forth. Echo's practicing a lot. These next couple of nights, they have the Champions League, which we'll be getting to in a second. But I think all that practice is really going to help them get back onto it. Last week, we saw a complete decimation of Echo Fox. And just like a couple weeks ago when Echo Fox decimated Optic, I think the script will flip. I'm sure that they're going to be playing angry. They're going to be practicing even angrier. And they've got guys on that team that really want to just get on top and stay there. But let's move on finally to the Gears Community Series, the Champions League presented by Annex. It started last Thursday. Yours truly and Trooper himself casting those first two matches. I cannot thank Deluxe enough for the opportunity. I can't thank Annex enough for helping put it on, being the main sponsor, and I can't thank Deluxe enough for all his work, tirelessly trying to put this on for all of us. So I'm going to start right there. But let's move into the matches we saw last Thursday. Optic Gaming Mexico defeated Nimbus GG. It was 2 days later that Tidy announced he's taking a step back. Optic Gaming Mexico looked flawless in that map. They did not have a single problem with what they were put up against in Nimbus GG. They literally handled every situation correctly. They had their spacing correct, their initials correct, and every time they started to fall apart, the composure for a team that has been together long enough came through magnificently, and we saw a beautiful rout by Optic Gaming Mexico over Nimbus GG. In the second game of that night, we had E United playing Ghost Gaming. For E United, I believe that is a bit of a grudge match for them. Ghost, I'm not sure if they view it the same way. I said it the night on stream. Ghost Gaming has sent E United home 3 times from major LAN events. That is a big blow to the ego of anybody on E United. They probably look at this as their grudge match. Ghost may be looking past them at the top 2 teams, but nonetheless, it's still fun when these 2 teams lock horns. It's going to go the full series. It's going to go all the way, and it's going to be fantastic. You had E United beating Ghost Gaming 2-1 to get their first win in the Community Series. And on that third and final map, where I thought it was going to be just a bloodbath left and right, E United put on a clinic of Lancer Fire, a clinic of angles, a clinic of what I like to refer to as spacing. They knew where the Wolfpack was, they knew where the chunk range was, and they never put themselves in position to be taken advantage of by Ghost Gaming the entirety of that match. I love to see when a team has played a map so much to perfection that they're able to just play Monopoly on it. They own the board. They've got hotels on Boardwalk, Park Place, everywhere you could possibly want, and you're having to pay the Pied Piper for it because they have prepared for a team like Ghost Gaming on a map like Dam. It was clinical. It was like another day of practice. They were going through motions, it looked like. Ends up beating them 2-1. Those are the first 2 games we had on the Community Series last Thursday. But let's talk about the other games that have played since then. Optic Gaming Mexico played E United, an E United team that just beat a Ghost Gaming team that they look at as their grudge match. Optic Gaming Mexico, a team that had a bit of a shaky event down in New Orleans, which might have been a bit of a wake-up call for them because they performed so well at these other tournaments. They end up beating E United 2-1. Optic Gaming Mexico playing very well right now in the Champions League. They're the only 2-0 team, of course. They're the one of two teams that have played 2 matches, so we'll see how they continue to go moving forward. But I expect great things from that team. We all expected them to play a lot better in New Orleans, and I expect them to play even better in the coming weeks, in the coming month, all the way into San Diego. They're going to be playing true to form. They're going to be playing Wolfpack style, winning initials. They've learned from their mistakes. Can't wait to see Optic Gaming Mexico moving forward. On the other side, you had Optic Gaming. Everybody knows the Kings of Gears of War playing Nimbus GG. Optic Gaming 2-0 sweep. Does that set up how they're going to be the rest of this Champions League? Do we end up seeing Optic Gaming versus Echo Fox yet again in the playoffs and the championship? I'm not too sure, especially if Optic Gaming Mexico continues to play the way that they are. But Optic Gaming, the Kings of Gears of War right now. Those 5 guys on any given day can flip the light switch and just annihilate anybody standing in their path. You've seen it time and time again. It's the first time in history they ever lost 7 rounds in a row, and it was in New Orleans to a very hot Echo Fox team. But then they come back 2 maps in a row and just pile it on to win yet another championship for Optic Gaming here in Gears of War. Let's look forward, though, ladies and gentlemen. Champions League isn't a one-day tournament. It's not a 2-day tournament. It's not a series over a week. No, no, no. This thing is going on for weeks. We are going to have a lot of round robin. We're going to have a lot of Gears action, and we are going to have some of the best Gears of War coming live this Thursday night. But tonight, oh, yes, indeedy. Tonight, on a Monday night. You got a case of the Mondays. You're about to get over it real quick, ladies and gentlemen, because we got some big matches going on. Right now, going on out there in the ether of Gears of War. Rise Gaming, Ghost Gaming, a team that I love right now, Rise, playing against a team that has found its struggles in Ghost Gaming. That's happening right now. And then at 9 o'clock, we have 2 big heavyweight matches for you. If you can find streams, go find them, watch them, support your teams. Rise plays back-to-back. They're starting off with Ghost at 7. At 9 o'clock, they've got Echo Fox. That's a big test for them because they keep having to play Optic in these 2Ks. But right now, that script is flipped. They've got to play Echo Fox. Let's see how those 2 teams match up because they don't see each other week in and week out in the 2Ks. They might see each other in scrims, but we never get to see it on the big stage. Also at 9 o'clock, Optic Gaming, NA, the Kings of Gears of War. I keep saying it because it's the truth. Playing Simplicity. Simplicity having to find their solidified 5. They took over that final team spot for Elevate when Elevate split apart. So we had a brand new team join into the Champions League. It was Simplicity picking up the slack, having another big team in there. Let's see who their solidified 5th is. Let's see who they play with. And let's see how they go up against the best team right now in Gears of War, the number 1 power ranking team, Optic Gaming North America. That's happening at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Simplicity has the challenge tonight, but they've got the test tomorrow. The challenge is how you do against Optic Gaming. The test is how you bounce back against a different top-tier team. Because if they get slaughtered tonight against Optic Gaming, are they available to get their mind right? Are they going to have the ability to get their mentality back together? Because they got to play Echo Fox tomorrow. And you cannot sleep on them. By God, we all know you can't sleep on them. That'll finish up week 1 for the Community Series, the Champions League, presented by Annex, put on by Deluxe. But let's move forward. Thursday night. Artsy, Simplicity's gone through a couple of team changes. They've been scouting a 5th. It's almost like we're going to be pulling the curtains back tonight. Deluxe is in the chat. If he has the ability to give us that 5th member, I'd love for him to do it. But right now, it looks like it's Toy. It looks like it's Clouts. It looks like it's Soto. And last night they played with... I I believe it was oh Jesus, I can tell you in 1 second. I will go and find the match right now. I wrote the roster down. And Vital Sam, there you go. So, they're going to have to play Optic Gaming tonight. They have to play Echo Fox tomorrow. That'll wrap up your week 1. Let's move to Thursday. We're going to have another round of games. Another beautiful slate of games. Whoever's scheduling this thing, everybody give a high five to that man because he deserves all the props in the world. This Thursday, August 23rd, Optic Gaming Mexico versus Rise, Simplicity, E-United. Nimbus GG versus Ghost Gaming, Optic NA versus Echo Fox, ladies and gentlemen. The big time slugfest happens Wednesday night and then the rematch on Thursday night. And everybody's going to get to see that live and in living color on the Community Series. I am so excited. 2 nights in a row, the 2 best teams locking horns head to head. It's going to be fantastic. Don't miss either night. Don't miss either fight. But we've also got Optic Gaming Mexico versus Echo Fox. We've got Ghost Gaming versus Optic Gaming North America. E-United versus Nimbus GG. And Rise versus Simplicity. It is a round robin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's highlight some of these games. Optic Gaming Mexico playing true to form right now. Going up against Rise, a team that is playing better and better since the pickup of Detox. Nimbus GG, a team that's already 0-2. They've already got 2 losses on their resume. They cannot afford a 3rd loss. Ghost Gaming, finding their struggles. They got to find a stride here, and they got to find it quick. Let's hope they can bounce back, get their first win of this series, but that means we're going to put Nimbus GG down 0-3. Almost in no man's land. On the other side of it, Optic Gaming Mexico, Echo Fox, the team that sent them home first thing Sunday morning. I called a 2-0. A 2-0 happened to Optic Gaming Mexico. They're going to want a little bit of revenge. They're going to want to show that they're here to stay and here to be a powerhouse week in and week out. And at the very bottom of that, a game that I'm really, really curious about. That's Ghost Gaming and Optic Gaming. It's the same thing when Rise plays Echo Fox. Rise is on the opposite side of the 2K bracket. Ghost Gaming is on the opposite side of the 2K bracket from Optic Gaming. We all know that Optic Gaming are the kings of Gears of War. We all know that Ghost wants to find their stride with Kaid with a full squad. They want to find out what they can do against these top teams. That's a big matchup for them. They cannot come out stale. They can't come out flat. They've got to come out firing on all cylinders and find out exactly what they are made of going towards San Diego, because every match in the Champions League is a big-time match. Every match, every week is worth those valuable points moving forward to a beautiful prize pool that they've been building up. I cannot wait to see these couple of matches happen. Let's wrap tonight's episode up in the control room, in the command center itself. I've got monitors left and right. I'm looking for streams. I'm trying to figure out exactly what these teams are doing, what they're tweaking going forward. Let's wrap it up. Space Station Gaming, still the best in the EU. Optic Gaming, still the best over here in the NA. Optic Gaming Mexico, still the best team in Latin America. All these teams, they're going to start finding each other in scrims. They're going to start finding each other in the Champions League, except for Space Station Gaming. You're going to see Optic Gaming on Thursday. And you're going to see them against Echo Fox. I'm sure we're going to try to get some of these games even more broadcasted to the viewing public. There won't be coaches. There won't be anywhere to hide. We're going to try our best to get some of this action to you more often than not. But this Wednesday, Fight Night. Optic Gaming, Echo Fox. Thursday night, Gears Community Series. Back-to-back Optic Gaming, Echo Fox. You're going to get to see both those matches back-to-back nights. They will be live and in living color on streams. Wednesday night, it'll be presented by Gears of War. Thursday night, it's going to be presented by the Champions League. Find Deluxe Haas on Twitter. Follow him. Follow the Gears Community Series, the Champions League, on Twitter. Follow them. Get out there, show the passion, continue to put in the work, the time, and baby, we are gonna be the best. Gears of War has too much passion. It's too good to die. We're gonna keep it alive because, baby, you can't kill Gears of War. Gears of War is coming every single day. I want to give a big shout out one last time to everybody that is involved with the community, with the scene. We're going to do everything we can to get more of this action to you. Remember, Optic Gaming playing live on stream Wednesday against Echo Fox in the Fight Night presented by Gears of War. They're playing live again on stream again Thursday night presented by Deluxe in the Champions League. Again on stream. If you want to see the green wall, you're going to get the green wall, baby. But that's all from the control room. That's all from the command center. I'm Colin Clark. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate the eyeballs. I'm going to upload this to YouTube if you missed the beginning of it. If you want to recap anything, go right ahead. It'll be at the T-Virus BSTRD, the T-Virus Bastards YouTube. Cannot wait to see you all in San Diego. Cannot wait to see you all continue to put eyeballs on a game that I love more than any other walk in the face of the planet. Gears of War, then, now, forever. Stealing that from WWE. I don't care if you call me out on it because it's true, baby. Let's go. Wednesday night, Fight Night. Thursday night, Community Series, Champions League. Let's get it.